No matter what comes your way, be willing to believe that everything will work together for your good. Trust yourself, trust the process, and believe. Hello, amazing people. Good to have you on the program once again. Welcome on board your #1 events program on the network service of the NTA. I am Marianne Ayana, and this is Socialouge. Thanks for staying tuned. See you in a bit. We'll be right back. When women step into a particular situation, they cause a ripple of change that rings far and near. Want to find out what I'm talking about? This story is for you. Let's see it.
Exemplary women embarking on exemplary feats was the reflection at the Soroptimist International Nigeria Association's change of insignia and installation of Gloria Iverrebai as its 24th national president for the year 2022 and 2024.
I wish to appreciate and applaud Socialouge International for all the good work they do.
The organization was founded in Oakland, California in 1921 and has since spread and flourished to over 3,000 countries all over the world, achieving the best for women in every sphere of their lives. Their objectives are, as a worldwide organization, is for women to act as a global voice via awareness and advocacy, striving for the advancement of status of women, providing high ethical standards for them, championing human rights for all, eschewing equality and impacting knowledge through education, empowerment, and enablement.
And under education, we train women and girls, both formal education via skills and vocational studies. And then when we say enable, we also enable the ones who are not even fit to be on the forwards of a learning organization by giving them microcredit loans to do whatever they want to do and all of that.
Our morals is a strategic area that we Soroptimists are ready to fight at every point in time. Parents, we will always advise to try as much as possible to install discipline into their children, the boy, the girl, not, withstanding whatever be the sex, so that they know the importance of dignity.
The event held at the Chelsea Hotel Abuja was a well-attended hall filled with educated professionals, successful women who, coming together, had just one motive in mind, and that is to touch the lives of women in Nigeria as much as they can.
I think Soroptimist International has exercised good judgment to elect her at this time after COVID, when things have been very slow for the world and for our nation, to give impetus, to give inspiration, and to give leadership so that the club can continue to impact on the lives of women and girls particularly.
Very diligent and hard-working officer, and I'm very proud to be associated with her and to celebrate with her today.
The father of the day was the DG of the Nigerian Television Authority, Yakubu Hikbin Muhammad. He was ably represented by the Executive Director, Engineering.
If we have any serious challenge, for instance like the insurgents, the people who have so much impact, it affects them so much, is the women and the girl child. And that is why in NTA, our position too is also to expose all the ills. We partner with them and work closely with them to see that majority of Nigerians and the people who are our viewers get to know about all these negative ills, and then we eradicate it. If we cannot eliminate it completely, we have to minimize it to its barest minimum.
There are major agendas coming from this incoming president and a resilient group of excos, but one actually stood out, and that is her fight and passion against sexual-based violence against the woman and girl child. She was most passionate about this in her speech, and getting it right is the focus for her 2-year tenure.
The issues in the country are enormous now. We have more women that are being displaced and girls that are being displaced. Families, livelihoods have been lost. And because of that, there's a lot that we need to do to be able to alleviate the sufferings of these women and girls. We have a lot of people that are in IDP camps, and we need to protect the women and girls that are there from any sexual harassment, molestation, trafficking, and also to assist them to have something to take, to have something to empower them to have a sort of livelihood that can assist them.
For the Soroptimist International, transforming lives, inspiring action, and changing the lives of women, elevating them at all costs, is a crucible they have sworn to carry.
Here is wishing the president and our executives great strides ahead. Now to our next story, we're taking you into the world of books. Here is Reading for Tomorrow.
The human mind is inspired and introduced into the world of books, not only because of the adventure, reality, fun, knowledge, and interface, but also for most times, the truth that is unforeseen. This was the general euphoria at the Abuja book chat organized by the Eugenia Abu Media team, titled Reading for Tomorrow, with Adaobi Trisha Nwabani as this edition's special guest.
So that's the thing. All the reading I did then, the interaction with my family, were really the writing courses, the creative writing courses, and all the training I went through that are helping me today.
The chat brought Adaobi Nwabani to an interesting audience. She is a prize-winning novelist and journalist. The author of the book, I Do Not Come to You by Chance, which has won many critically acclaimed awards, one of which is the 2010 Commonwealth Writers' Prize for the first best book in Africa, a Betty Trask First Book Award, Washington's Post Best Book of the Year, while her second and most current book, Beneath the Baobab Tree, won the 2018 Raven Award for Excellence in Arts and Entertainment, and was named one of the American Library Association's Best Fiction for Young Adults. She also writes for BBC's Letters from Africa, amongst a host of other achievements.
So far, it is on the JAMB reading list, and Nigeria here is on the reading list in a number of schools abroad, and of course in libraries, in the curriculum of a number of institutions. So I like the fact that it's making people more aware of what has happened in the North. It's a tragedy that occurred in the northeast of Nigeria that still occurs in varying degrees.
My take home is that the extenuating circumstances that create what we have seen in the Northeast, which is the setting of the book. It is the responsibility of every one of us as Nigerians, greater the responsibility of government to see that what led to these circumstances, do not occur again.
Trisha took the house through her experience growing up, owing her passion for reading and writing to her parents, especially her father, who nurtured her to read from an early age. The chat had both past special guests, returning and new participants in the audience, in attendance. It was an interesting evening.
I think it's a deeply thought-provoking book. It's very revealing, very intriguing. Some also very mystifying, I would say.
Basic books, Toma and Tani. Books that tell you about your culture, books that explain the world to you. So by the time you enter the world properly, you are unafraid. I make my children read, even though some of them are science-based, but I have books everywhere in my house, and I think that helps. I think parents should learn that.
It was an evening of eye-opening reveals as the author walked the house through the remarkable tale behind her new book, Beneath the Baobab Tree, which is a story about the plight and psychology of the girls in the Northeast facing insurgents, especially the returnees, and how they dream to live normal lives afterwards. More importantly to note is how the courageous Nigerian army has been rescuing girls even before the Chibok abduction. She also distinctively stated that her book goes far beyond the Chibok saga, backing it up with facts and reality. It truly was an interesting journey, And Reading for Tomorrow is an adversary to parents on how to prepare their kids to read and prep them up for tomorrow, just as Adaobi's parents did with her.
Probably one of the most important ways to go about getting everything together. Now, definitive people doing definitive things is unique in its own sense. Want to find out what I'm talking about again? Let's see this.
The media plays a vital role in the development of any society. It does not only provide information, education, and entertainment, but also shape opinions of individuals and groups in the society. It does not only tell its audience what to think about, but also how to think about certain issues. Media images and stories influence thinking and establish social norms. Sadly, some media presentations about people with disabilities has left in its wake negative and inaccurate beliefs and attitudes about what it means to be a person with disability.
I see a lot of human angle story, but in writing those human angle story, it tilts towards issues around charity. Yeah, see this lady.
Is the reason behind this one-day media training for media houses on disability inclusion and the discrimination against persons with disabilities, organized by Albino Foundation with the support from its partners. The training aims to equip media practitioners on how to report and present stories about people with disabilities. It is believed that fear and stereotypes about disability are deeply ingrained in many cultures and reflected in some media coverages, making some people with disabilities not to be seen as individuals beyond the framework of their disabilities.
Seeing persons with disabilities as heroes, to me, that's my own personal opinion. I see it as something that actually deepens discrimination instead of helping people, because, for example, things I can do ordinarily, then people begin to report it as if it's an exceptional thing. It makes people to begin to see me from the angle of this cannot be done by a person with disability. Yes.
The training also concentrated on those providing information about disability to the media and how it is presented. Other sessions focused on creative programming for disability inclusion in media broadcasting and data reporting for disability inclusive journalism.
When you say a cup is half empty, you say a cup is half filled, you would know that both of them mean the same thing. But one is complementary, the other is derogatory. It's about the same thing when you are introducing someone who has maybe partial blindness, and you say, oh, Mr. So-and-so is a blind man. You could rather say Mr. So-and-so is a gentleman who lives with a condition of partial blindness. So it's about the language, the way it's placed. So when we write our stories on for disability or PWDs, persons living with disabilities, I think it will always be better we use the appropriate language. And like I said while I was presenting, everyone has a disability. Only God is perfect, and only God helps us to sustain our disability. So give everyone a chance. It makes the world a better place. Let's celebrate humanity, not disability.
Part of here, speaking with others, people who are not a part of this can tell you, this is how you talk about these people, this is, and I think the simplest way to know is to let them tell you themselves. So what I've learned today is people with disabilities telling us how they want to be addressed, how they want to be spoken about, and how certain language or use of language is not appropriate, and they don't want that. And I think that is the long and short of it. Because
enough data to tell the story of disability in Nigeria. So the first part is for advocacy. From NIMSI to INEC, we need to make the data public so that we can take the data that they already have and begin to find out how many disabled people live in Nigeria for a start. You understand? the conversations will proceed from there. Equally, there are a lot of development bodies in Nigeria who have collated data over the years. But the data that they have collated is still not public. So we can't even, those who are on the field, data analysts who are doing freelance data analytics, can't even play with this data. We need to have a data bank of what they're all doing, a reservoir, where they can dump all this data in, and we can actually begin to make sense of this data for Nigeria, really.
Executive Director of Albino Foundation, Jeke Pele, while recommending the media for its effort in reporting issues concerning persons with disability, he emphasized the importance of portraying disability stories accurately, the media to inculcate the habit of portraying individuals with disabilities in a respectful manner by not using languages that are demeaning but objective.
Now, one of the very pertinent aspect of what we're doing is what we're trying to establish, journalists for persons with disability. We've gone far. It's at registration stage. At the end of the day, we'll be able to midwife, mainstream an organization that is self-sustaining, that will live after us, but will propagate the ideals of persons with disability from the community perspective and from the professional angle, which is the media.
Institutions are manned by individuals, and individuals' attitudes shape the environment and institutions. When the attitudes of a community are negative towards a particular vulnerable group, they will all struggle more to realize their potentials.
No matter who you are, as long as you make beautiful impact, it's all good. Now, on to one of my personal favorites, art in its entirety. Arts and nature with a hint of yellow. Let's see this.
Self-taught visual artists like Vincent van Gogh are a proven testament that one can be a successful artist with no formal education in the arts, such is the case of Aisha Tuko Buratai, a self-taught visual artist, who has also proven that her involvement with art is one that came naturally.
The exhibition today has revealed the creativity, the wonderful creativity in a very young and promising artist, because she's a self-made artist, self-taught. She has not learned in any school, and all that came around here came to give her support, and they were highly impressed by her wonderful talents.
Miss Aisha, who is a mixed media artist, works mostly with oil and acrylic on canvas. This was a maiden exhibition themed Arts and Nature, a hint of yellow.
The name of this piece is The Mystery Man. It is made of acrylic on canvas. It shows a silhouette of a person where you can put anybody's face on it and it could make sense to you. So it's a personal piece to the owner. I painted this in regards to a poem I wrote.
It started as a joke, you know. She would just come to me, Mama, I want to draw. I'll just give her a paper, she would start doing it. At a point, she would just draw beautiful pictures. I was like, are you the one that did this? She would tell me yes. I am a teacher, a biology teacher, you know. Even me, I cannot draw very well all the, the plants, the animals in biology, but she could do very well. That was how it started.
So this is titled My Brain, It shows, the colors shows how creative it is, and also how dark it could be. And the chaos within depicts how chaotic the creative process can be. The gold in the piece kind of reflects when hard work is put in, there's always the golden light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, so white here means peace. When I see blue, I feel this like it reminds me of the sea, tranquility. The gold, as I said, always the light at the end of the tunnel.
The Art and Nature exhibition had a recurring symbol of an abstraction which was depicted in bright colors with bold strokes. And by the artist's own admission, art is life and life is art. When emotions are well expressed through art, then inner peace settles.
There's something about art when combined with nature. It's a blast. And that's how we take a wrap on the program today. Join us again, same time next week. Remember, everything will fall into place as long as you stay calm. Stay safe, everyone. Bye.